Okay, DOG.
already got it.
Listen, here.
So they have.
Okay, hold it. There you go. Now, one thing I want to, this is Dan Weston, poverty, anti-poverty activist. How long?
How
about,
long?
About 100 years. So, you turn around.
Stop. It's the little lens thing is
Yeah,
stick.
just lift it. There. All right. So, 100, it's all right, sorry. Listen, I've been bitching about it. I want to ask you, you watch the news. What do you think when you see Halifax talking about Tent City? What goes through your mind?
What I'm just talking to you about.
Tent City in Halifax. Like they're saying Remembrance Day, they're not going to remove their tents for Remembrance Day because they're going to celebrate Remembrance Day somewhere else because it's people in tents down in Halifax. In St. John, Newfoundland, the mayor removed the portable washroom because there was too many needles in there.
Look, as far as I know, this will discredit me in what I'm saying to you, but it's supposed to be like that.
What do you mean?
It's supposed to be poverty, all sorts of it. You know, if you're a third world, this is tongue in cheek, but it sort of explains what I'm saying. If you're a third world investor coming to New Brunswick, the more tent cities you see, the more like home it feels. And it looks like the working class here is very well disciplined because there's so much poverty for it to look at that when it comes to demanding higher wages, they pretty well keep their mouth shut. And if they do have a wage struggle, it's for a tiny amount per hour, and they exhaust all the workers out there on the picket line, and so the workers won't go on strike again for another decade. Even though they don't make much, that's the idea. They don't have to make much, but get them struggle for it. So, like New Brunswick is a history of low wages because it's supposed to be that way. Poverty is not by accident. It's on purpose, and it's caused by the system.
By the system. So
The structural system.
So you look at Halifax and you see tents.
Yeah.
And through your mind, the issue of meth heads, drugs, don't go to your mind at all?
Not as a cause, no, not at all.
So you mean there's people working, living in tents?
Oh yeah.
How come we don't see those people?
They're living in cars. You see every time you look at the situation, especially in the States, you see people living in motorhomes and everything that are broken down and not being able to fix them.
Yeah, States.
That's all part of the thing.
Yeah, Halifax, Los Angeles, Philadelphia.
But people, I don't know what you're into. Are you intimating that that people are in those tents because they're drug addicts?
Of course. Of course.
So you think that the whole
whole
homeless
shebang.
problem is all caused by drugs?
The whole shebang. I see it downtown all the time.
Yeah.
And they're not, like I said, I would love to see.
So it's like a chicken and the egg question, eh?
Well, no.
Which came first, the poverty of living in a tent, or
well,
getting stoned and not being able to pay my rent and end up living in a tent?
well, that's a good point. But let's not talk. But the people, the poverty, is connected to the drugs. But
Oh, yes, very much so.
But the drugs we used to do, because we tried acid, we tried magic mushroom, we tried cocaine. I tried cocaine once. I love it so much I never touch it again. It's a Scottish thing, too cheap. Anyway, but if you try crystal meth on a Saturday night, you're in need of it by Wednesday. So you have these youths, not educated, and then they're high on crystal meth and their life is destroyed. But
There was all sorts of crystal meth back in the 60s
yeah, it's
and
not the same.
70s.
But it's not the same. Now
No,
it's
it's the
bad.
same. It was the same crystal.
Oh, okay. I
It just
didn't know
wasn't
that.
here.
It wasn't here. Oh,
No.
okay. So they had now it's battery acids and it's everything. Everything. It's not.
You can make it at home.
Yeah, exactly.
Only got
Or in a
formula,
bathtub, in a bathtub in the woods. But it's a different kind of. You didn't see. I didn't see it. us, the only people we seen high was
Yeah,
magic.
to me, that's not
magic
part, that's not
mushroom.
relevant to the question.
Relevant to the question is the people in the tents. I'd love to see a senior say, I'm a senior and I live in a tent because I turned 65.
That's possible, yeah.
I would love to see these people, not on drugs, in a tent because they're seniors.
Well, you know, the thing is that when you're out there living in that tent and you're out there all night and, you know, day after day after day, and in the daytime you're trying to find some money to get, to get a little something, maybe something to drink or maybe a cigarette or maybe even some cigarettes if you can get over to the reserve, then,
Yeah, cheap.
and if you can bum enough money, you know, that's not a very hopeful situation for a person. And so if somebody comes around with a, you know, a nice joint or a little line or a pill of some sort, and it says, well, because the rest of your day is going to be nice compared to
Yeah.
right now if you take this pill. Okay, so you may as well take the pill.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when you start doing it, well, fuck, you get wired to her because, you know, the day hasn't changed any. Other than,
Yeah.
I mean, your future hasn't changed any. It's still day to day,
yeah,
day
yeah,
by
but
day,
it's
right?
different. It's different because
Right. So
if
the drugs is very much a part of it. In fact, the drugs help to keep everybody in the same situation.
well, if you
The
see
drugs
somebody,
prevent you from getting out of it.
if you see 10 people that's on the street all bent over and screaming and hollering, which we never seen, you say, I don't want to be
I didn't
like
know, I
that
never seen
person. I never seen it. I never seen people. Maybe they were drunk, but they weren't like what it is now. And now it's
No, but I
different.
mean now, you know, at our store there on the north side, we experience homeless people all the time.
You mean they come and scream and holler and
Yeah, yeah.
they're on crystal meth.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. When were they
They
did
bent over in the store or something, and I have to ask them.
20 years ago? They
Very,
used to do that?
they're very courteous most of the time, except for the ones that are screaming and hollering.
Yeah,
But
but that was
anyway, I
late.
don't. Yeah, the
That
thing-
was lately.
Hmm?
That's what I'm talking about. Lately. You didn't see that
Yes.
20 years ago.
Oh no no no
No, 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 no.
no!
That's
There
what
were
I'm saying.
homeless, some homeless people, but it was just a few, like sunny lads, you know, and a few
Yeah.
boys there. But
The
no,
bottom
not like
line,
now. Not
the
like
bottom
now.
line is when I see, like, you can't give them. They're comparing the people that's less fortunate, the poor, and if the poor gets issues done, the people that have drug issues, they want to be with the same group and say, hey, we're poor also. If you get a person on housing,
Mm-hmm.
a guy on crystal meth or girl in housing,
Yeah.
they're going to destroy the place. They're not going to keep it clean. They're just
No.
going to destroy it. They
Possibly,
won't,
yeah.
they won't, they're not going to appreciate what they have. And that's why when I see advocates
Well, the thing
fighting
is,
for them, like they give them the
Okay,
freaking
but
high
you're
school
making-
and they call $20,000 in damages.
okay, Charles, but you're making one big assumption here.
What's
in your
that?
argument. It's a bit of a mix of apples and oranges. Once you give the person the house, or make them responsible for it, have them live there for a little bit, give them a little bit of drug counseling, maybe they're not so wired as they used to be when they had nothing.
The tiny homes, it's not doing good.
Oh, they have problems there. Of course, you're not going. You know, that's just the way it is. And if the guy's prepared to go through the whole process of whatever it is to wean these people from drugs, then maybe it can be done. But
It's
that's
called-
that's one of the things that has to
It's
happen.
called jail.
Experiments.
Jail, concrete cell.
Experiments on how to do it. We need a few of those. And 333 Cliff Street, treating everybody like they're in a group home, is not the answer. That's not a real experiment. That's some of the same old, same old.
333. I thought that was
But
one
the
good.
thing is, I'm afraid that the drug scene is beyond being. You can't help. You won't. If you just try to help the individual, you won't stop it all happening. For each person you're helping, there's 10 that are getting wired.
Listen, let me tell you. Sorry, let me tell you how bad it is. That